Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike, the creator of the One Life podcast, believes most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike wants you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The One Life podcast, it inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the One Life podcast to your playlist. That's the number one NE Life. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the One Life Podcast. I am Mike M.I.C. Reed, and here we talk about positive psychology while taking care of your well-being and telling your story, because everybody has an amazing story. I believe that. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing on this Friday? Yes. Whew, another week gone, another week down. Man, you know what? I want to give a shout out to all those who are doing the work. I want to shout out all those who show up every single day and do the work. Just showing up. Because just showing up is half the battle. You ever just laying in bed and you're just like, I don't want to do today. For whatever reason, you woke up, you're like, I don't want to do today. I don't want to be an adult today. We all have had those feelings, right? But yet we push through it, no matter what we got going on in our lives, no matter what's going on, we push through it, and we get through it, and we feel so much better at the end of the day. Well, at least I do. That's why I want to shout out everybody that shows up, because that matters. It matters when you just show up, when you're just present. I'm telling you, it's like half the battle when you just show up. Especially when you show up and you're actually doing the work. Like, that's actually part of, showing up is actually part of doing the work. Like, I always talk about what's in your toolbox. What do you do to get your day better if you're like in a bad mood, or how do you get back on track? Showing up is one of those things. You can show up somewhere and be like, you know what, I'm here. I may not be all the way here, but I'm here. Like my team, we do mental check-ins every morning. And if somebody's not all the way there, like we speak on it. And we tell them to speak on it. And sometimes people are like, you know what, I'm not all here today. Cool. When you have an amazing team, like I do, then your teammates are going to pick you up. But at least you was there. At least you showed up. Like that matters to a lot of people. Especially to me. It matters to me. You ain't got to always be there 100% of the time. Because, especially like with me, like I know every day it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows. Not going to be 100% every day. This is life. It really is life. I mean, even the bad days, we all going to have them. We talk about this so much, like, we're all going to have obstacles on our path. Those obstacles are the bad days. You wake up and you're just like, I don't want to do it. But you push through it anyway. You show up. You show up through the pain that you're feeling. You show up through all those tears that you just shed it the night before. And you just push through it. We've all had them. No one's not had it. So trust me, if you're going through something right now, I want to say you're doing an amazing job. Because if you're still here, if you're listening to this right now, that means you're still here. If you're listening to my show, that means you're doing the work. If you're listening to my show, you're doing the work. That means you're searching for something. You're searching for something to get you through something. It means you're trying to do better. My show is all positive. I'm not a therapist. Let's be clear on that. I'm just a regular guy that wants to just put positivity out in the world. I just want to help people, whether it's telling a story, my story, someone else's story. That's all I want to do is just put something positive out there so someone can relate to it, so someone can feel it, so someone can say, wow, I went through that. Wow, you got through that. If you did it, I can do it. Just something to make someone's life just a little bit more easier. Again, not a professional, far from a professional, because I still go through a lot. I do. I still go through a lot. I know it takes a lot to get through things. It's not an overnight thing. Like, I've been on my journey now for a few years, like 6-7 years, I want to say. And I still go through it. But I know it's not going to end. Like, I know I'm going to always go through it. But I do know my path has become a lot easier to walk. I know that for a fact. I know how to get through things a lot more easier. I think when you get to a certain age or a certain maturity, you realize, you just realize certain things, right? Things just become a lot more clear. You start to reflect on things that you used to go through. You look at where you was to where you are now, and you be like, wow, I got through that. Wow, I did that. Look how much I've grown. And I know we grow differently. We all have different capacities, so we grow differently. We learn differently. But if you just look back 5 years prior, look at 5 years ago, look at 10 years ago. If you're doing the work, even if you just started doing the work, and if you're just starting to get on this new journey, look at the last 3 months, 6 months. Look at last year, depending on, when you started. And look at the measurement. Measure it. Do you see the growth? Even if it's a little bit, like, that's progress. A little bit of growth is progress. So it doesn't matter, like, you're not going to take these giant steps. It's baby steps. It's one step at a time. And as long as you're putting one foot in front of the other, taking one step at a time, you are growing. So when you're doing the work and you're showing up, man, that is amazing. Don't look at the end result. I mean, have a goal. Have small attainable goals, right? I mean, you can have a big picture goal, but have small attainable goals, so you can be hitting your mark. Because when you have these big goals, then sometimes they're not obtainable, and you get discouraged, and that's what puts a lot of people down. But again, if you're showing up, just showing up, I'm telling you, it's so much. It's such a progress if you're just showing up. So that's what I want. That's what I want to talk about today. Just showing up. People that are just showing up and that are doing the work, no matter how small it is, no matter how small your steps are, no matter how small your progress is, how little your progress is. Shout out to you, because you're doing the work, and that's amazing. Because in life, we're always going to be working on our well-being. We're always going to be working on ourselves. So it's not a destination. You just got to remember that. It really is a journey. I know people say that a lot and hear that a lot, but it really is true. You're going to be working on yourself forever. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a great thing, because if you can continue to see yourself grow and see the progress, like right now, I'm looking at my next 5 years and what I want to do to accomplish in those 5 years. Like, one of them is, getting my master's. And hopefully I can do it shorter than 5 years, but I'm just looking at a 5-year goal right now. Like, that's amazing to me. Like I'm looking at my past 5 years and where I've been, right? And to be able to say, okay, my next 5 years, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna be dope, y'all. I'm gonna be so dope. I'm excited about it. So that's what I mean. Like, I can look at my last 5 years and be like, I can see the growth. I can see how I've grown. I can see this person I've become. And I'm just like, wow, if I can do that, just imagine what my next 5 years is going to be like. Wow. Like, yeah, some of y'all ain't going to be ready for that. Some of me so dope. Man, even the last 3 months, I want to say the last 3-4 months, since the beginning of the year, say 5 months, since January, I've grown so much because I went through some things. I'm always going through some things. You guys always hear me tell I'm going through some things. But now I embrace these things because I see what all this other stuff has done to me and how I took it and grew with it. And I'm like, dang, if I can do that, just imagine when all this other stuff starts coming to me, how I'm gonna grow from that. Like that's just how I look at it, right? It's all perspective. Like when you go through something, and remember, it's a choice. You can either look at something in a negative way or look at something in a positive way. I'm choosing to look at things in a positive way because I see all the negative stuff that I went through and what I did with it, right? All the negative stuff that I did with it, I'm like, wow, look what I've become because of what I did, what I went through. So I'm like, yeah, next 5 years, the next year, all the obstacles that's going to come my way, oh my God, yeah, bring it on, because I know I'm going to get through it. I know God got a plan for me. I can see it clearly, and I give it to him. You know, I give all that stuff that I can't control, I give it to him, and I do my part, and that's the key. You still got to do your part. You still got to do your part. So when I do my part and I let him do his part, we're a dope team, 100%. I got a dope teammate in God. We create so much amazing things. So again, shout out to everybody that shows up. Shout out to everybody that's doing the work. Shout out to everybody that's just being amazing right now, that's not giving up, that's still here, that can hear my voice right now. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all you guys. I always say, you know, life is hard, you know. Life is simple, just not easy, because it is hard, right? One of my phrases, life is simple, not easy. You know, you know that I'm in schools and I deal with a lot of kids, and man, I wish they can hear a lot of my shows, but I know they don't follow my shows. I can't have them follow my shows, but you know, at some point when they get a little older, I hope they can. But these are to the parents. I want to say this to the parents. If you have kids that's still in school, check on your kids. Seriously, check on your kids, because I see so many kids that are going through things, and me and my team and counselors and behavior team, like we all know that some of these kids, they're going through things because of what's going on in the home. Not to say like parents are doing a bad job. I'm just saying, like, reach out to your kids, ask them how they're really doing, because a lot of them are acting out, and I know it's because of attention, because of something that's going on at home. I don't know what, but I know it's something there, something that's going on in their lives, other than school, and like we have to reach out to our kids. I know my kids are older, but I know it's hard sometimes when, especially like, you know, shout out to the single parents, because I know it's not easy. But you know, we work, especially when, you know, even the parents that are still together with their significant other, wife, husband, both work 2 jobs, and it's hard. It is. Raising kids is not easy. It's a beautiful thing, but it can get hard and get stressful. Because I've been there, and we take things for granted sometimes. Speaking from a parent perspective, and we don't check on our kids enough. Because I do see it that these kids are acting out, and when I tell you, and we say it all the time, my team and I, that these are great kids. They really are. But, at times they act out, and we know that it's coming from somewhere. So we got to do better. Even us as a team, we're trying to do better because sometimes we miss it. Sometimes we don't, check in with the kids. As much as we try to, check in on kids every day, every morning. Like where I'm at is like 700 kids, so I can't talk to 700 kids in the morning time in a span of 30 minutes. It's just impossible. But it takes all of us. Like when they really say it takes a village to raise a kid, it really does. So that's the only reason why I say, like, parents, talk to your kids. Like, it takes all of us to raise them. It really does. But we got to check in on them, making sure they're okay. And like really asking them, like, are you really okay? Is there anything you need to talk about? Like, let's talk. Carve some time out to sit with them for 5-10 minutes. I had a kid today tell me, he's going through some things, at home, but he don't want to talk about it, and that's fine. Sometimes they don't want to talk about it, but they do know that we're there when they do want to talk about it. And he's kind of down today, so we sat with him for about 10 minutes and talked to him. He felt better afterwards, but that's how I know that there's something going on. We just got to check on him. That's just real talk from a parent to a parent. Even though my kids are older, I still check on them. Even though they're older and they kind of want to do their own thing, but they're still my kids. They're still my babies. Anyways, I really like I was saying before, I really do think like when you get a certain age or a certain maturity, you realize you just want to enjoy life, right? You don't want to chase things. I was just having this conversation the other day about, we was talking about couples and how people, when they're young, they chase love, they chase all these things, right? They chase people that, are going after, with their dream jobs and, all this stuff. And I'm just like, man, I ain't chasing nothing no more. Really not. I mean, I just really believe like at a certain age and certain maturity, the only thing that I'm chasing is happiness, peace, joy. I mean, love from people that want to love you and want to hang out with you and be with you. These are things that I'm chasing. Like, just that peace and that enjoy life vibe, nothing else. I don't care about nothing else, materialistic stuff, I'm not chasing none of that stuff no more. Like, y'all can have all that. But I do believe in life there are, a couple of things you should just never chase. And that's true friends and love. True friends and love is something you should just never chase. Because people are going to make time for who they want to make time for, right? Remember, you can't control people, right? So people text and reply to people they want to talk to. When someone tells you that they're too busy continuously, believe them. They don't want to make time for you. Don't try to convince them otherwise. Don't try to force them to make time for you because you can't. You can't control people, right? If they want to, they will. If they want to make time for you, they will. It's kind of like what I always say when people want something or they want to be better, like they got to want it, right? Like regardless of what you're going through, if you want a different life or a different job, career, whatever it is, like if you want better in your life, you got to want it. You know, things don't just come to you, you know. So you can't force anything. You got to want it. And I know it hurts, but you can't force someone to have feelings for you. You shouldn't have to beg someone to love you. You shouldn't have to, you know, beg someone to care. You shouldn't have to beg someone to try. You shouldn't have to beg someone to talk to you. You know, you shouldn't have to beg someone to put you first. If they wanted to, they would. Trust me. If people want you there and want you in their lives and want to spend time with you and all this stuff, they would. Don't let people become a priority in your life when all you are to them is an option. And that's one of my biggest things. Like, I'm sorry I'm about to say this, but I'm nobody's option. I'm sorry. I put a lot of people first. And I used to do that for years. But I'm at a point now where I'm putting myself first, and I don't care. Like, I'm on that level. I don't care. It's respectfully, I don't care. But I'm definitely nobody's option, because even though I still put people first, but I'm putting me first before you, if that makes sense. So if I'm putting in the effort, best believe I want that in return. And I know you're not supposed to expect anything, but that's just the vibe I'm on right now. Like, I want that in return. And if you can't give me that in return, cool. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to chase you. But if you only giving me 30, 40%, then that's all I'm giving you. Not giving 100% no more to someone that's only giving me 30, 40%. Or even 10%. Like, I'm not doing it no more. No one's option. And this comes with communication. Like, I believe a healthy conversation can, you know, help any situation. But to have a healthy conversation, you have to be ready and open to acceptance. You know, and that just goes to just another segue into another thing. Like, you have to accept people for who they are, not who you want them to be. You know, I think a lot of people have these, again, expectations of people and the people that they want people to be. And it's like, no, you got to accept people for who they are. Because, again, we can't control people. So you either accept them. I mean, it is a choice. You either accept them or you don't. But, I mean, you can't be mad at somebody because they want to do something, or they don't want to be there for you, or they're not calling you, or whatever the case may be. You just can't. If that's how someone is, then that's the way it is. I truly believe that even like in any situation, you know, that's why I don't even argue with people no more. Like, if someone feels strongly about something, cool, that's how you feel. I respect that. I'm not going to sit here and have an argument like about my perspective of it. If you're going to argue with me about it, you know, I accept your point of view, and I'm cool with that. So for me, this is what I feel, and that's just what it is, you know. So I think people really need to stop having these high expectations of what other people should be, or even life. Like, I even say you got to accept life for what it is, not what you want it to be. Like, it's the same thing. I mean, life's not perfect. People are not perfect. Can your path be different? Can your path be better? Can you be better? Yes. But you can only control yourself. You can only control your path. You can't control nobody else. You can't control nobody else's path. You can only control yourself and your path. Period. That's it. So, yes, you have to accept it. I know some people will argue with me about that, but no, they don't have to accept it. And in some ways, you're right. You don't have to accept it. But that doesn't mean that person is going to change, or that doesn't mean that person is going to change their path. That's what it is. Right. You don't have to accept it. You can move on. Never talk to this person again and let them walk their own path. It's not going to change them. You're not going to change their mind. And you shouldn't let anybody change your mind, just like you don't want nobody to change your mind. So you got to accept things. So acceptance. That's the word for the day, you guys. Acceptance. But life is hard, y'all. Life is hard. It's just not. It's just, life is simple. It's not easy. You know, life is simple. It's not easy. But I also, you know, like I grew up in the streets. You know, just going back to what I was saying about how I can look at my life and what I've been through and how it's all turned out, right? Like, I would not say growing up in the streets was a bad thing because I learned a lot. I believe God puts you in situations that give you options, and it's your choice what options you choose. Either option is going to teach you something. Now, even though each option has its own path and its own obstacles, one path might be easy, one path might be hard, you know, but they both will end up going in the same direction and a part of the same journey. I know you got to catch that one. It doesn't matter what path you choose, the easy path or the hard path, because at some point you're still going on the same journey, but it's up to you if you want your journey to be easier or harder. It's going to be the same direction, same journey, right? But I know growing up around gangs and the street life taught me how to be aware and to take a step back and look at things from an outside in perspective, right? Sometimes you're looking at things from the inside and they only give you one vision. But if you take a step back and look at it from another angle or perspective, it gives you a more of a better view, right? It's kind of like looking at something from 30,000 feet. You see the bigger picture, right? So whenever you take a step back in the situation, you just got to look at the whole picture. You really start to see things clear. Sometimes some things are hard to see and even hard to understand at times. But it will give you a better understanding of how things really are when you look at things, I would say, from like a 30,000 feet perspective. There's so much I learned, you guys, over my years. Some days I understand some things, sometimes I don't. It's funny because the older I get, I look back at all the things that I have been through, and I can see how all the lessons that was teaching me back then. I look at all my relationships, from my kids to my ex-wife to business associates to friendships, and even, you know, everyday encounters of people. And I realized that all the stuff I went through as a kid made me who I am. So when someone asked me, you know, what would you change, you know, growing up? And I mean, obviously, you know, there's things that we go through that we would like. I would say, yeah, I will do that differently, right? But I'm not mad at how I grew. Because literally all those things made me who I am today. I'm happy with I am today. I'm happy with my life today. I couldn't say that 6 months ago, a year ago. I'll be honest with you. But now I'm like, I have such an amazing life. I really do. I really learned that it's our external circumstances that clouds our judgments that get us depressed and get us in these bad moods. And but my life is amazing. I've accomplished so much in my life. I really have. I'm so grateful for everything that I've ever accomplished, that I've ever had. I know somebody was talking to a teacher the other day, and she asked me why I left entertainment. And I was like, I grew up in it. I had a 35-year career in it. I believe I've done everything I want to do in entertainment. I really have. My dreams, I had different dreams than everybody. Like everybody has different dreams, right? So my dreams was to accomplish a lot of my goals, and I honestly done that in entertainment. So that's how I was able to walk away from it. I mean, I'm still kind of doing it, right, because it's entertainment. So I'm still fulfilling, you know, my goals, but I mean, I'm happy with what I've accomplished. I mean, I've accomplished far more than I ever imagined that I would have accomplished. If I'm my 15-year-old self right now, 20-year-old self right now, I wouldn't have never imagined that I would have accomplished all the things I did. Not in a million years. It was just not in my radar. Wasn't in my vision. So I'm very grateful, very blessed for that. But that's why I say keep showing up. Keep showing up, you guys. You never know. Never know. Just as easy as your life can turn upside down in a second, your life can turn right back around the next second. So it goes both ways. You can turn your life around real easy. If you're going through a lot of things, if things doesn't seem like they're working out, you can really turn your life around. But it's your choice. You got to want it. Again, you got to want it, and you got to do the work. You know, give God all the things you can't control. Like people, you can't control people. Let him deal with that. You can't control other people's obstacles. You can't control what life is going to throw at you. Let him control that. You just continue to show up. Continue to do the work. Continue to focus on yourself. And I promise you, your life will turn around. Your life will be so much better. You're going to love your life even more. You're going to love the path that you're on. It's going to be amazing. So again, shout out to everybody that shows up. Shout out to everybody that's doing the work. Life's amazing. I know my life's amazing. I'm incredibly satisfied with my life right now. Yeah, there's a lot of other things I want to do, but I'm happy. I couldn't say that 6 months ago, be honest with you. But I can say that now. Do I have my bad days still? Yes. I still have my bad days. Don't get me wrong. I love my life. I have an amazing life. But I still have my bad days because the hurt, the grief of things that I lost, people that I lost, it's still there. I don't think it ever goes away. You know, the people that come into your lives that you care about, that you love, that's not there no more, they don't ever go away. Especially if you really love someone, they don't never go away. So, you know, you always have those memories, and those memories sometimes make you sad. I know when I think about certain people, I just want to be myself. I want to lock myself in my room, and I want to just think about the memories, and because that's all I have now, right? That's all we have. So, you know, it's a sad moment, but it's also a happy moment. Like I said, it's your choice on how you can look at things from a negative perspective or a positive perspective. It's sad, and I know we feel sad like when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking out about someone. But I turn it around and say, you know what, I'm grateful that I was able to have that person in my life for whatever time it was. You know, because now I have those memories. I have those great times I can sit back and think about and laugh and be like, wow, I remember that day. Like, we had an amazing day that day. I'm grateful for that. So I know times are hard sometimes when you do that, but you will get through it. It's part of life, right? We'll always get through it. That's why I say you got to continue to show up, continue to do the work, because when you have those days, you could just get through them a lot easier. You can turn those days into happier days, right? So anyways, that's what I want to talk about today. Shout out to everybody, again, that always follows me, that always supports me. My show has been growing, you guys. Thank you so much for that, for sharing and liking and just watching my content and dealing with my ups and downs. I appreciate you guys because I know some days I have up days. Some days I'm a mess. But I continue to come on here and tell my story and talk about what's on my mind. And today's an amazing day, and I just want to jump on here and shout out you guys. Shout out to everybody, again, that's showing up and that's doing the work. So shout out to you guys, and thank you so much for your support. Got a lot more show content coming. Got a lot more people that's jumping on the show. It's going to be amazing. A lot more great stories for you guys. And, man, it's about to be an amazing rest of the year, all right? So peace, love, and blessings. Again, follow, share, like, do all that stuff. God has 7, but it's your choice. Have an amazing day, like you said in my school. Have an amazing day. Choice is yours, you guys. It's always yours. Hope you choose it. Have an amazing day and a blessed day. All right. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm out of here till next week. See you.